Welcome to Purpose Unlocked, the podcast where dreamers, doers, and changemakers like you break free from the ordinary and build legacies that matter. I'm Christy Smith, business coach, author of The Intuitive Entrepreneur, and your guide to unlocking the purpose-driven life and business you were born for. If you've ever felt like you were meant for more impact, more purpose, more freedom, then you're in the right place. Each week, we dive deep into the mindset, strategies, and real-world stories of purpose-driven entrepreneurs, creatives, and visionaries who refuse to settle. It's time to break the rules, challenge the status quo, and turn your vision into reality. So are you ready? Let's do this. Today, we're diving into one of the most important yet often overlooked aspects of building a successful business: understanding your customer's journey. Now, I know you're passionate about what you do, and you've probably already put a lot of time and energy into crafting your message and offering. But here's the thing: if you don't understand the path your customer takes to reach you, you could be missing out on powerful opportunities to connect, engage, and serve. So today we're going to talk about why understanding your customer's journey is everything, and how doing so can transform your business. Let's get to it. Let's start by breaking down what we mean when we talk about the customer journey. Simply put, the customer's journey is the path your ideal clients take from the moment they first discover your brand to the point where they make a purchase, and ideally beyond that, as loyal, raving fans. But it's not just a straight line. It's a process, and it involves several stages. The first stage is awareness. This is when your potential customer first hears about you. Maybe they see a social media post, read a blog, or hear about you through a friend. They don't know much about you yet, but they're starting to take notice. The next step is consideration. Now they're interested. They've learned more about what you offer, and they're weighing whether it's a right fit for them. They might compare you to other options, read reviews, or check out more of your content. The next stage is just decision. This is where they decide whether or not to make a purchase. They're looking for reassurance that they're making the right choice. This is where trust comes into play. Your offer needs to clearly align with their needs. And the last is post-purchase. This is the loyalty and advocacy stage. Once they've made a purchase, the journey doesn't end. How do you continue to serve them? Deepen the relationship and turn them into a loyal customer who not only returns, but tells others about you. Understanding these stages is crucial because the experience your customers have at each stage influences whether they stick around or move on to the next shiny object. And it all starts with how well you understand their journey. So why is it important to get crystal clear on this journey? Let's break it down. First is you build trust and empathy. When you understand the steps your customer takes, you can meet them where they are. It allows you to speak directly to their needs, frustrations, and desires, making them feel seen and heard. This builds trust, and as we all know, trust is the foundation of any meaningful business relationship. Second, it creates relevant, personalized experience. Once you know where your customers are in their journey, you can tailor your messaging, content, and offers accordingly. For example, someone in the awareness stage needs education and inspiration, while someone in the decision stage needs clear information and reassurance. By understanding this, you'll avoid one-size-fits-all marketing and instead create targeted, value-driven experiences. Third, it improves your marketing and sales strategy. When you map out the customer's journey, you can identify potential gaps or areas where you might be losing people. Maybe they're getting stuck in the consideration phase, or maybe they don't feel confident about making a purchase decision. Knowing this allows you to refine your messaging, offer more value, or create better calls to action to move them through the stages. And fourth, it encourages loyalty and referrals. The journey doesn't end with a sale. If you continue to nurture and serve your customers post-purchase, you create long-term relationships. Satisfied customers become advocates who not only buy from you again, but spread the word to others. This is the power of building a sustainable business. Customers who feel valued will bring you new ones. All right, so we know why understanding your customer's journey is so important, but how do you actually map it out? Well, let me walk you through a few steps to get started. So first, we're going to start with your ideal customer. Before you can understand their journey, you need to know who your ideal customer is. Create a detailed customer avatar. What are their pain points? What motivates them? What are their goals? The more specific you can get, the better. Then you're going to need to identify key touch points. So think about all the ways a potential customer might interact with your brand. Do they find you on social media, through a blog post, a podcast episode, a webinar? Whatever it is, these touch points represent opportunities to guide them through each stage of the journey, from awareness to decision. Okay, so once you've got your key touch points, now you need to break them down into the stages, right, that we talked about before earlier. Awareness, consideration, decision, and post-purchase. For each stage, think about what your customer needs. What questions are they asking? What emotions are they feeling? And how can you provide value at each stage? Now you're going to create content for each stage, right? Now you know where they are in their journey, and that content needs to speak directly to them. At the awareness stage, you might create blog posts or social media content that educates and inspires. At the consideration stage, provide case studies, testimonials, and product demos that might highlight the benefits of your offering. At the decision stage, offer clear calls to action and special offers to encourage them to take the next step. And finally, make sure you're tracking your customers' behavior at each stage of the journey. Are people engaging with your content? Are they dropping off in the consideration stage? Use analytics to see where you can improve and refine your strategy to better serve your audience. When you truly understand the customer's journey, you're not just offering products or services, you're offering solutions. You're building a relationship that transforms your customers into lifelong advocates. When your customers feel seen, heard, and cared for, they're more likely to stick around, return, and refer others to you. They'll feel like they're part of something bigger, a movement, a purpose-driven business that aligns with their values. At the end of the day, the customer's journey is everything because it's what helps you show up in a way that's meaningful, impactful, and aligned with your bigger mission. So what's the takeaway? Take time to understand the journey your customers are on. from the first moment they discover you to the point where they become loyal fans. Each step is an opportunity to connect, serve, and make a lasting impact. When you map this out, you're not just building a business, you're building relationships, trust, and a legacy. That's a wrap on this episode of Purpose Unlocked, but your journey is just beginning. If today's conversation sparked something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, tag me, and let's keep this movement growing. For more insights, tools, and resources to fuel your purpose-driven journey, grab a copy of my book, The Intuitive Entrepreneur, at christysmithcoaching.com/book-intuitive. And if you're ready to take your vision to the next level, let's connect. Follow me on social media, subscribe to this channel, and join the community of rebels, dreamers, and impact makers just like you. Until next time, keep challenging the norm, trusting your intuition, and building the legacy you were born for. Let's unlock purpose together.